You're listening to the AFTERBUZZ TV Network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Dean Johnson.
From the AFTERBUZZ Studios in Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and Bing.com, and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies, this is AFTERBUZZ TV's Defiance After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AFTERBUZZ TV's Defiance After Show.
Hey everybody, Bing is for doing, and we are doing another Defiance After Show. This is episode 102, Down in the Ground Where the Dead Go. I am Matt Lieberman, and joining me is the inimitable Scott Moore.
Yes! Oh man, and I feel so much better this week because I actually watched the entire episode in its entirety.
If you guys couldn't tell, because I think we did a pretty good job, but you had only seen half the pilot.
I'd only seen half the pilot, so, you know.
You covered like a champ. Covered like a champ, Scott.
It's like having that fake orgasm, you know? Just going with it.
Okay.
No one will know the difference.
We're going from there.
But, yeah, we're already going there. But I'm saying
episode.
if I look like a deer, you know, caught in the headlights last week, that is why.
Okay.
That is
now
why. Moving
he
on.
just looks like a deer in its moment of glory. You're on top of a
That's
mountain.
right.
Yeah, and you're
looking
heading
over
down Old St. Louis.
That's right, looking over Old St.
Or over
Louis.
terraformed Earth.
Yes.
I thought that this was a pretty good episode.
I did too.
You know, I love the fact that we didn't just gloss over the events of the pilot, that we're still dealing with the ramifications of it. Didn't get any more answers this week, but kind of asking new questions.
Yeah, but I still felt like I learned a lot more this week about maybe why certain people were doing certain things, which we'll get into a little bit more in detail in a few minutes, and learning just more about the characters themselves and their backgrounds. So I felt like I learned a lot more what was going on. And so to me, it did answer some of the questions, maybe by asking more questions, but in a way of helping it move along and propelling that plot forward a little bit more this week.
Yeah, we got to really see some motivations here. We got a little more of Datak's background and Rafe's background. You know, we got to see more Arissa, more of the Macaulay kids.
Yep.
Way more Stama.
Lots more Stama.
Lots of Stamas, always naked.
Yes, lots of
lots of creepy sun touching while wearing no clothes.
Yes, who also looks like she isn't that much older than him too. It's
no,
just
she's maybe 5 years old.
Yeah,
maybe
so that
5
was
to 10
kind of a
years
weird
old.
look too. It was like, okay.
But let's get down to it. So
and I felt like I learned, you know, by learning everyone's backgrounds, I feel like we learned maybe why they do what they're doing here too.
And it gives, I think, I'm a little more attached to the show and to these people. We open with Ela Bandic, who ran away during the Volge fight in the last episode. Who we're pretty sure he was the guy who owed Datak money in the first episode. Am I correct?
Yes, exactly.
So we're back with him, and he is being punished for fleeing the battle through. Every one of the cast of Thans, they're all chanting in the hollows, and he's strapped to this rack.
Yeah.
And
very kind of medieval kind of thing. You know, he's being stretched out on these chains and this thing.
I was pretty sure we were gonna see some limbs pop off tonight.
I was waiting for that. So you know, might have been a little
especially when the little like Children of the Corn kid is dropping his rocket, and Arissa is like, "This is no place for children.
Yes, no children go here.
No children go here."
No, it was interesting because it was sort of like their religious kind of ancient traditions here going on with the chanting, and they had their religious component there. We learned about their god Raietso.
Yeah.
And this was some kind of
we got a lot of Castathan lingo here.
Yes, we did.
We learned about the class the caste system. Which was the Lido?
The Liro.
The Liro.
Although the old mayor called it the Lyro, but I think it was just her accent. But yeah, it was like Liro, Lyro, tomato, tomato.
Everyone's got different castes. We learn that Datak's caste is not necessarily an honorable one.
No, and they were at the lowest, basically the lowest level of the caste system back on their planet.
Which shows how important his power is to him, because he's had to really claw his way up the whole way.
By doing whatever he has to do, it seems like.
He doesn't care, flushing people out of airlocks.
Yep.
knifing people and dropping them on the lawkeeper's doorstep.
Yeah, he's going to do what it takes.
Oh, yeah, especially if it involves sweet, sweet energy blades. We also learned that Castathans believe in souls in the Fae show.
In Fae show. And gosh, we just learned so much. I need like a textbook.
I know. Well, Scott Moore, we're going to be able to teach a course.
I hope
Defiance
so. After this, we're going to teach a course
of this season.
Yes. We're going to grade everybody.
That's
right.
Yes,
they're right.
The more you know about fake alien races. Actually, I have a quick question, and this occurred to me while we were watching the episode. So, Christy McCauley and Alec Tarr are getting married.
Yes.
Can they have kids?
I know. Isn't it sort of like a mix? I don't want to say like breed, but
interspecies. Interspecies.
So it's not even a breed. They're totally different.
But not only can they have kids, do they even have the same pieces?
Yes, I know. The same kind of plumbing there. Does it work the same way?
Is it Star Trek rules where
we need to find out about this?
Because I remember Deep Space Nine. Worf was married to someone's gonna kill me on the internet.
I know. I'm not even gonna pretend to try to answer that question correctly. Because everyone will kill me on the
There was
internet
interspecies mingling on that show, and it worked out. So it's probably.
I guess we have to assume that it's going to work out here, or they wouldn't be going as far as getting married.
Bunch of ex-Star Trek writers on this show. It's probably Star Trek rules.
Yeah, so we're just going to go with that, although I'd like to learn more about that because it's important.
Yeah.
It's important for me to know how it all works down there.
But one of my favorite things about this show and really that showcases the potential of this show is you have these 8 races. You have the Votan races and the humans all occupying the same space. And they all have different beliefs. They all live in different fashions. There's going to be tension. And this episode really showed, okay, we're going to have to deal with interspecies politics in kind of like an international relations thing on a very small
area. And it is sort of going back to that Star Trek thing of kind of comparing things that are going on in the world today. And so that's what I kind of like, is that you are dealing with all kinds of different things, and how can everyone live in harmony. And like you said, it's very fragile. It's not going to be able to happen very easily when you've got all these mixed races and mixed things going on, and each having their own competing things that they need and want to get done as well, and their own traditions. And
Datak is such a dick to Amanda at the top when he's like, "Do you really want to undo years of tradition on your 3rd week?" Mic drop.
Right?
Yeah. And she finally stands up to him, and we got that kind of explanation about in the early days of Defiance, there were Arathians who lived there, over 1,000 of them.
Yep.
And they did not want their kids vaccinated,
which I thought was interesting too. Another little kind of thing that some people believe in. Yeah, so they didn't believe in having their kids vaccinated.
Well, it's the same way that say Scientologists don't believe in psychology or in medication for psychological conditions. Everyone's got their own freedom to express and live their own way, but when it's harming other people, obviously it's going to be viewed differently.
Yeah, it's going to be viewed negatively. Yeah. Exactly, because it's more the belief, you can do whatever you want as long as you're not hurting someone else, but in that case, you're directly influencing other people.
But what do you think?
Other races and their health.
What do you think this show of power, that Datak, he's flexing his muscle, killing Ayla Bandic even after he's been pardoned, and dumping him on Nolan's doorstep. What do you think is going to be Nolan and Amanda's next move to counteract him? Because he's obviously being insolent. He doesn't recognize their authority.
Oh yeah, that's clear.
But is there anything they can do about it?
You know what? I think that there really isn't right now.
Yeah,
they're just gonna, because he's showing that he doesn't give a crap at all.
Yeah,
and that's why he's doing what he's doing. He's like, I can kill him. I'm allowed to do this. I'm gonna show you what's what kind of thing.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be interesting to see how they counteract with him. But he's definitely gonna be kind of that menace. Yeah. Throughout the entire season here, I can see.
Yeah. And I just want to mention really quickly, because I was kind of obsessed with it during the opening of this episode. Like, Datak appears in this big scene with the torture device, and he's got like this weird crotch flap thing. Like, it's kind of like out of nowhere, off of his pants comes this hem of not a jacket, not a robe thing.
It was a yes. I think we need to make that a whole.
Giggling.
Yeah, I think we need to make that into something.
I
now.
would like
the whole John Hamm thing from Mad Men, which you do on AfterBuzz. Let's try to make this a big issue now.
Someone turn the Datak crotch flap into the next face of the internet, please.
Please do that.
Please do, and
let's
tweet
make it a big
us.
Controversy now.
I would love
the crotch flap.
The crotchoversy.
Yes, there we go. The crotchoversy on Defiance here.
Make it happen, people. All right, so
I love it.
One more thing while we're still talking Cast-a-Thans. We have two more scenes to talk about. We have Stama and Datak in their all-white spa of villainy.
Spa.
The spa of secrecy.
Yes.
The sinister spa.
The sinister spa.
Yeah. Where they hatch their plots
their
and
evil
wear no
plots.
clothes.
Yep.
And like
half naked.
He had that moment where he's like, I felt so small, but now, and he stands up out of the water. He's like, now I feel big.
And now I can go piss on them all.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm like, I love how little subtlety this show has as far as Datak's crotch is concerned.
See, it's that crotchoversy.
It's that crotchoversy, man.
Out there again.
But Stama she's kind of like, she's very Lady Macbeth, and I don't know if you're a fan of Game of Thrones, but like to me, she's also very Queen Cersei, but with the cunning of Marjorie.
I was just gonna say that she's got the cunning
of
down.
Yeah,
she's got that down. And I really actually rather enjoyed that a little because I felt like that was more on display in this episode here.
I think she's more dangerous than Datak.
Yeah, I think there is definitely more to her than we have seen yet. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, and then we have this scene where Christy is operating at the abandoned Orange Line train
subway cafe where they're playing like old timey music.
It was like weird 50s
like
opera.
I don't even know. I would love to know like what was their thinking behind that, like where this musical influence came from. Was it supposed to represent something, or was it thrown in there? I'm very curious. I want to know what their decisions are and when they pick like music and stuff.
There is kind of an interesting mix of references. And in this episode, we saw later Nolan picks up a copy of War of the Worlds in the mines. Yeah. But even though this ostensibly takes place in 2043, the copy he picks up looks like it was published in the late 60s.
It does. That's why it's very fascinating to me. I want to know kind of like what would their thought process be on. Obviously, I can figure out War of the Worlds and what it has to do with the stuff going on in
It was
Defiance.
A funny wink.
But it was it was. But then I think how they choose the music and the things like that, those little details.
Yeah.
Especially something like that in the subway diner, like was there some deeper reference for that?
Well, I think it might have been a call out to Fallout 3, which was a similarly post-apocalyptic kind of property, a video game where the main song, the first song that you hear is "I don't want to set the world on fire." It's like the same kind of thing.
Yeah, it's like a post-apocalyptic.
And it's literally a shot in an abandoned subway car.
I know. That's what's interesting to me because you get that like you said, apocalyptic, but you're getting like the old past stuff.
Yeah.
I guess it's whatever kind of survived through this whole post-apocalyptic world, and maybe they're just picking up where they could.
Yeah. So Stama comes up to Christy, who's apparently having cold feet about the wedding, and she tells her in like the creepiest way possible.
Yes, in her very cunning way. It was so good.
Like, I once had cold feet about marrying someone. This not very handsome, but from a good cast.
Very rich, successful, wealthy cast
who would have taken care of me. And then this young, dangerous man found me, and like Christy's like, Datak, like, oh my god, like Stama is just playing her
so much.
Like,
it's like
a fiddle.
You could defy your dad. It's okay. You got to do what's right. You got to love the man you're gonna love, like I did, and only I could know, not my parents. It was a whole thing.
Yeah,
so good.
Yeah, Rafe needs to stop being a dick and just let his daughter back into his life. He's gonna have a far better chance at like helping her realize that there's something up if he stops attacking her and her decisions and starts appealing to her. Like Stama is doing a far better job of getting under the kid's skin.
Yep. And you're right. It goes back to the whole thing. Like, you might as well support, even if you don't support who they're going to be with. It's going to be her choice. Let her figure it out on her own.
Yeah.
Don't try to alienate her. And so, yeah, he definitely needs to come around on that for sure.
Any other Cast-a-Than points before we move on?
No, I think that was pretty. I mean, because we'll get more into the whole Elok thing a little more detail too as well.
Yeah. Okay, really quickly, I just want to thank you guys for making us the #1 show on AfterBuzz this week.
We're number one.
We're number one. Yeah! Oh, yeah. Oh, you know how to make two guys feel loved.
Really do.
So please tell your friends about the show, and please like us and
love us.
Love us.
There's just even more than love.
Subscribe and rate and comment on
Definitely.
iTunes and on the YouTube page. We love reading your comments and getting your feedback. We love doing this show, and we love watching this show with you.
We do.
Yeah. So please keep that coming. Also, if you want to watch us live, you can now do so on your smartphone or tablet on iOS and Android. If you go to www.AfterBuzzTV.com on your mobile device, you can stream live as well as on your computer.
Yeah, there you have it.
Beautiful.
So you can be watching us anywhere you are. Anywhere. You can be anywhere you're at.
Even in Old St. Louis, Scott?
Yeah, even.
Oh my
St.
God.
Louis. But I don't know if you can get reception down there.
That's true.
I
Okay, so we have our other plot of the episode, which is Ben, our Indigene, who we thought was killed at the end of I certainly thought he was dead.
I did too.
At the last episode,
and I think that's what we're still supposed to assume.
Yeah.
That or some really deep coma.
Yeah. Well, he got revived by the creepy Mr. Birch.
Yes.
Who is Mayor Nikki's creepy henchman with the cool sunglasses. What was the name of the liquid he used?
He used the Vrytex?
Vrytex. Which could have killed him. So I guess he wasn't dead.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah. But he's like,
maybe it's a mystery we're just gonna have to just live with.
Your job isn't finished. You need. We find out what this other plan is that they were alluding to at the end of the last episode. It's to go down into Macaulay Mines and blow up the old nuclear power plant in Old St. Louis.
Yes.
Which was really cool. Like, I don't know if you're a Futurama fan. They have, like old New York.
Yep.
And this was definitely taken from that. But it was still a really cool trip, especially for Nolan, who
lived there, who grew up there.
Yeah, who's
as a kid.
St. Louis native.
Yes. No, I thought the interesting, and I guess we'll get into it a little bit more later, is what do you think with the whole stuff with, former Mayor Nikki? With that whole plan. Did it seem as evil to you this time around?
No.
Or is it just now I feel like I've learned more that it feels like she has to do this.
Yeah.
And we still don't know exactly what the whole reasons are behind it.
Yeah.
But she feels she has to do this.
I feel like decisions were made after the pilot to reshape Mayor Nikki's character and her storyline. I feel like, they didn't know what that plot was or what motivated it until after the series got picked up. She definitely was softened a bit in this
episode. She felt a lot softer to me in this episode when she came and
she's
saw
not
Amanda.
She's not twirling a mustache.
Yeah. She was a little bit warmer. She felt like, and it just felt like there was a reason behind it.
Yeah.
That felt more of a not a nefarious, evil way.
Something, and now I think the overall game, the overall arc for her has changed. I feel like we're going to see her unmasked at some point, and that she will continue to be a part of the show and even contribute to the overall narrative in a positive way after we get this whole plot out of the way.
Yeah. After we dig a little deeper and figure out what is really going on.
But we still don't know who her bosses are. Who's she answering to? Why is she trying to blow up the city? They're trying to find something in Old St. Louis. So it's not just trying to destroy the town. They're also looking for something down there. So we learned in the mines that St. Louis was different from everywhere else, apparently, on the entire planet.
Yes, exactly.
When it got terraformed, which is a little cheap.
It's a stretch, to say the least.
I'm gonna say it's dumb, but fine. I like this show.
But that's what I'm saying. You just have to suspend the disbelief there. Go with it. Something with the terraform process. It somehow folded over.
Folded over
the city,
but the arch is still above the city.
It was fine.
It's fine.
And then everything else was folded over, so everything was basically preserved underground there.
Can I just say, and tell me if you agree? I feel like with any sci-fi show, you can get away with up to one dumb thing per episode.
Yes.
Without people getting super pissed.
Yes.
And
I do agree with that.
One.
This was the one. Yeah, you have more than one, and then it starts to be a little bit less.
If there had been 2 this episode, I would be nitpicky.
If it was 2, I'd be like, "That's it. I'm done. I am not watching anymore."
No, because we're
walking away.
But we're number 1, Scott. Don't do that. We need you.
I was just gonna say I was gonna walk away, but there weren't 2. There was only 1.
There was only 1.
So we're okay.
Yeah. So Ben has stolen a whole bunch of Goulanite, which we
also learned what that is a little bit more.
It wasn't completely spelled out in this episode. What we do know, Goulanite, it's a glowing blue crystal.
There's my glowing blue stuff again that I love so much.
Yes, and it's the source of energy for all Votech weapons and technology. So, when you have these glowing blue knives, that is a pure Goulanite energy blade. Now, we talked about one of the Votan races last week, the Goulani or Goulanais. We don't know yet because we haven't met one on the show.
Not.
Who are energy beings. And the Goulanite, I feel like, the root word, it's too similar for them not to be related.
Now I wonder how it comes from these energy beings.
Well, I feel like it doesn't come from the beings. I feel like it comes from their planet, maybe.
Okay, that's what I was going to say. Does it actually come from them? Is there some way that you kill them or you somehow steal their energy, or does it actually come from their planet? I don't know.
I just want to bring one random thing up that's really cool that I saw when I was doing research for this episode, that part of the lore of the series, there is an 8th Votan race that has not been revealed yet, that is believed to be extinct, that did not make it on the trip to Earth, and is believed to be extinct, but will totally be revealed later.
Wait, but so when she's talking about the 8 races, say she's including that one?
No, she's including humans. They believe that there's 7 Votan races.
That's what I thought.
And
okay,
humans,
there were 7.
But there is an 8th Votan race, and I'm wondering if it's not Earth Republic that Mayor Nikki is working for, but the secret Votan race.
So much going on.
So much intrigue.
Yes.
So much intrigue.
Could be.
Could be.
We'll just have to wait and find out.
So we also know that Goulanite is very explosive.
Yeah.
And Rafe Macaulay wants to go down into the mines and kill Ben immediately for killing his beloved Luke.
He's got to exact revenge.
Luke, my sweet Luke, who hated me and tried to blow up the town so he could get away from me. Horrible Luke, who's dead, and we're all happy that he's dead.
And now he wants to go and get revenge.
Get his revenge, because Rafe... I'm so glad we got character development on Rafe in this episode.
Yes.
Because Graham Greene, granted, he didn't get tons to work with in the first episode. He was so in danger of being one note to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. But it was good. That's what I'm saying. That's what I really liked about this episode, is that it explained a lot in more detail, maybe by asking a lot more questions. But now we know, and we kind of sympathize with some of these characters.
Yes.
Because now I know a little bit more about Rafe's background, and maybe we'll learn more about why he has these issues with his kids and this whole distant thing he has. And we don't know about the whole, wife or mom or anything else yet either. So.
Well, do we have anything more to talk about with Mayor Nikki and Ben and Birch?
Well, no, I was just going to say that whole scene where she came into the office.
Yeah.
Again, it was so
gathering
part of that.
her clutter.
Gathering her clutter, yes. That's where I finally felt like, okay, she's got that softer side, and she really kind of seemed to care about Amanda and saying how she was going to miss her, and was sort of adding that whole thing, and then that whole scene where she went into the car.
See, that's the scene where it turned for me. The office scene, I was like, she's still gaming her.
No, see, I felt like there, because it felt like there was a little bit more warmth to me there. So I was thinking, oh, she really does genuinely care about her.
There's the car scene right now.
Yeah, and there we go with the car scene.
Yeah,
and then
we have a TV behind us for those of you.
She gets into the car scene. How perfect is that? We didn't even try to match that up. And we learned so much more about this whole mission that she feels she has to do. But you felt like she really cared about everybody here. She was like, I grew up, with these people. I saw them being born, them being raised. There's a whole like that she genuinely cared about them. And now what she felt like she has to do.
She has to see them raised to the ground. Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting to see why she feels she has to go on this mission and what is behind it. But
okay. All right, well then let's talk Rafe. We got a lot of Rafe in this episode.
Yes.
There's a great parallel between Datak's rise to power and Rafe's rise to power. They both came from essentially nothing. Although I think Rafe's family had more money than Datak's.
No, it definitely seemed like Rafe's family definitely had more money because we learned about his dad.
Yeah.
With the whole dog food biz.
Brown McCauley.
Yes.
Chow down
Chow
Brown.
down Brown. Oh my God! I can't wait until we can get that jingle memorized.
I know.
It'll be so much fun.
Yeah. What part did we remember? You started.
I was gonna say, healthy pups can't get enough.
Oh yeah, healthy pups can't get enough. Chow down Brown.
It's chow down time.
Chow down time.
It's chow down time.
Chow down Brown.
Yeah.
So beautiful.
That was awesome.
And I loved just how upset Rafe was when Nolan was trying to coax him into singing it. And I think he's super embarrassed that he even knows about it.
He comes back. Yeah, he's embarrassed to know he comes from the dog food biz.
Yeah.
That he had.
Well, he said from a dog food dynasty.
Yeah, I mean, come on.
Everyone knows Chow Down Brown. He's a St. Louis dog food legend.
Mean, come on. That's what I feed my dogs. Yeah. Come on. That's good stuff. Wouldn't you be proud of that? But then it was interesting to learn after, the whole arc fall and everything that happened. Then he moved in. He got a new job as a terraform photographer. Mm-hmm. Maybe there's hope for me yet. I need a new job. Maybe the arc will happen and I can be a terraform photographer too.
Isn't that the way, though? Strong character, wants to be an artist, but gives up their dream to make money. How many times have we seen
That's what I'm saying. There's the parallels again with the real world, trying to take that sci-fi stuff to the real world.
No, I don't know, it happens all the time. Like, my dad wanted to open a restaurant. Instead, he wound up being a businessman. Yep. You always, there's always the dream deferred.
And then you think what you have to do for the family and yourself so you can have the mortgage and the money, the money.
Apparently, not only did he do something to either make his wife leave or he inadvertently killed her.
Yeah, we're going to have to learn more about that whole background now, too, like what happened with her.
But the family is definitely fractured. Yes. He's so consumed with grief, and he refuses to give Christy a break. Yeah. And she
really,
apologized.
all of his kids, it seems like there's huge issues.
Yeah.
Which I guess we'll, again, have to learn more about. But, yeah, he will not give her a break at all.
Yeah.
And he's just pushing her further away.
I'm glad.
And that's where Stama came in, and it's kind of luring her in.
Worming her way. Yes. Just like the snake in the ear. I do love that we got to see that Ben was, in fact, telling the truth about Luke's secret stash of cash. And we got to see he had some kind of strange golden device. Yeah, in his drawer.
I was wondering about that too. I was wondering if there was some connection because wasn't there a comment earlier in the episode about something with copper being worth more than?
Oh, it was about pennies. Penny for your thoughts.
Yeah,
and then
she was saying that.
Pennies,
but I wasn't sure if there was some connection with the copper, if it was made out of something like that, and what that I think it said Defiance on it, didn't it? Or did it say something on it?
To me, it looked like I didn't see any writing. If there was, it would be alien. It definitely.
Yeah, like there's something.
It's not like it was just the gold because he would have sold it.
No, there's definitely some kind of power. There's something with that. Yeah,
so
that was really interesting.
We're definitely going to see this strange golden device again.
Definitely.
Yeah, and it gives Rafe a lot to think about in terms of his daughter's upcoming nuptials.
Yes.
His favorite child hated him and was ready to let the city burn just to get away from him. So
not a good sign.
No.
If you hate your dad that much,
Yeah. Shitty kid.
Yeah, not good.
Bad dad. Shitty kid.
Bad dad.
Poisonous.
Bad dad.
Yeah. Yeah, but one more thing I want to point out. So we're keeping like a Votan check, because we know we've seen Arathians, we've seen Castathans, we've seen the Volge, and we've seen Indigenes.
Yes, and we also got to know about.
We got to see a Sensoth.
Yes.
Who?
Knock.
Yeah.
Knock. Is it Knack?
Knack.
N-A-K?
Yeah. Or no, it was Knock.
Knock.
Yeah. Knock.
It's spelled Knack.
Yes. Who is one of Rafe's like workers.
Yeah.
He's that big ape-like guy with all the hair. He is a Sensoth. For people wondering what he was.
Yes, because we were talking about the Sensoths.
Yeah.
Last week.
Yes, they are.
And now we got introduced to one finally.
Yes, they are typically a more subservient race of the seventh established races. Sensoth are actually the plural for Sensoth is Sensoth. They're strong, large, and tall. They have extended lower jaws and a large amount of hair on their faces. They live to be much older than the other Votan races. They prefer to live at a slower pace than others, speaking and acting slowly, due in part to their long lives.
Gosh, they sound like me. Well, at least with the speaking slowly and kind of being a little laid back. That sounds like me.
And
I get a lot of hair on my face. I mean, I think maybe I'm.
You long for the life of a sense-off?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I think maybe I might be related. Maybe I have some lineage there.
Yeah. Someone Photoshop Scott's head onto Knox's body.
To a sense-off.
He's kind of like, and I don't know if you watch Deep Space Nine, and I keep referencing Star Trek Deep Space Nine, but to me, he's probably going to be the in Deep Space Nine there was a bar owned.
Oh yeah, of course.
And Morn was an alien who never spoke, who was a regular at the bar.
Yep.
And it was
again a lot like me.
Yeah.
I just don't usually speak. I just hang out at the bar.
I think
drink.
Knock is our Morn.
I agree. I mean, how many? Yeah, it's like almost you have to start having references from other.
Yeah.
Well, other sci-fi references because.
Yeah.
It's too much.
No, he's just gonna say nothing and
he's gonna be good,
be adorable,
subservient. Yes, wonderful. God, just like me again. Just
Scott.
Adorable. I mean, you just call it right out there.
Scott, you are adorable. Collectively, people. You're in the presence of of your Defiance cuddle buddy, Scott Moore.
The Sensoth.
Yes, Scott Moore, the Sensoth. All right, so we've talked about Rafe.
Great to know his background. I love that.
Yeah. So we didn't get a ton of reveal on Nolan this week.
No, only that just the fact he was from St. Louis and that when he was talking to Rafe, how he went to Golden's restaurant or on the other side of the park, and his parents took him there. And then they were talking about the gooey butter cake and everything, but really didn't get any details.
If you've never had gooey butter cake, it's amazing.
Yeah.
And if you live in LA, there's a place called Miss Peaches in North Hollywood.
Oh, yes, Miss Peaches.
That makes an amazing gooey butter cake.
Because I'm a Southern boy at heart, so I love to get my food.
Great soul food.
But yeah, so that's the only thing that we learned about him, really, was that he was from there, and his parents took him to this restaurant when he was 9, and they were at Jefferson Park there. Yeah. And that was really all we got this week.
Well, I think
we're getting bits and pieces, and I know we're going to get more.
The big push for him in this episode is that his situation as lawkeeper got just that much more complicated by Datak's show of power at the end of this episode.
Yes, which, again, I think he's going to be the constant villain throughout the thread here throughout the season.
Yeah, so
kind of defying everyone else's power.
Yeah, Nolan will be hard-pressed to deal with him, and that... he's going to be hard-pressed to keep Arissa under control.
Yes, as we saw, too. Arissa defied him.
Yes, she defied... Lots of defiance in this episode of Defiance.
Yes, look at that.
Shocker of the century.
Got it in there.
Yeah.
Yes, totally did. Yeah.
We got a bit of backstory on her.
She did listen to Daddy.
Yeah. We got a bit of backstory on her this week.
Just little bits and pieces on her, too. Not a lot. Because you were talking about she had
manacle marks
on her
scars, as if she had been chained earlier in life, and it's why she was not a fan of this torture device.
Yes, and so she didn't like, and she even said that, like, quote, "I don't like chains." When she was telling Nolan this at near the end of the episode about why she felt she had to defy him. Yeah, and he basically forgives her.
Yeah, and then
he's like, "Oh, I understand. You did the right thing.
You did the right thing." He's like, "Well,
okay.
She did what he wished he could have done."
Yeah.
But he listened to Amanda early in the episode. And then, of course, when she does it, we get our shotgun blast at the hands of Tommy LaSalle, who, if he does not wind up being her boyfriend, I swear to God.
They have to be.
They have
Come
to
on.
be. They're so cute together.
They are. It's adorable.
It's adorable.
And all the fighting and the arguing and calling each other dumb and stupid.
She's a killer monster. He's the comedic relief.
Yep.
Yeah.
Come on.
More interspecies love.
We do.
Give us the interspecies love.
We need that.
Come on,
Good
Kevin
stuff.
Murphy.
But just keep having the fun, like, fighting there.
Yes.
Keep calling them each other dumb and stupid each episode.
Please, please, please. It's a lot of
fun.
fun.
Let's have the sexual tension reach a peak.
Sexual tension so rich we could spread it on toast.
We could spread on that gooey butter cake.
Yes. And Amanda, we see that she will be continually tested.
Yes.
We didn't see any of her sister this week.
We did not, which, was
Mia
interesting.
Kirshner sat this episode out.
She's busy running, her business.
Yeah.
Keeps her busy.
Okay. I say we talk predictions.
I say so too. Let's go with it.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
Okay. Personally, we both saw the preview for the next episode, which aired tonight, and we're going to try to catch up.
Yes, we're going to try to catch up. We're a little confusing here.
We're a week behind. But that Arissa has visions of some kind that Nolan did not previously know about. So I think that she's going to see the future of Defiance. Something terrible is going to happen, and Nolan's going to have to figure out how to stop it. I think that the wedding of Christy and Alec, I don't think they'll wait the whole season for that. I think.
Yeah, I don't think so either. I mean, I guess they could.
Yeah.
But, you know, just to kind of draw that tension too.
I think maybe we'll get it around episode 8. You know, so that we can change up the status quo and have Datak really trying to kill Rafe for the rest of the season.
And just causing mayhem and trouble anyways, usurping the power, thinking he can do whatever he wants.
Yeah. I really want to see what the more brothel-owning of the Rosewaters brings to the table.
I do too. I would like to see more of that as well.
But yeah, we need more of her aims. Kenya is her name.
Yes, Kenya.
Yes, Kenya. And what does she want? Like that's the thing that I love about this show is all of the characters so far have a very strong want, and we got them fleshed out.
And all very divergent wants and needs here.
And points of view.
Yes.
We don't know. We know that Kenya just kind of goes with the flow, and she's just trying to survive in a sense. And this is opening a brothel and working in it is just how she's doing that.
Yeah. But is there more to that though? That's what
exactly, because you don't pick that job just because it's the one that's going to bring you the most cash.
Yeah, is there something else going on there? But I would also say on going on with the predictions, sort of what you were saying when we saw that Arissa had the visions. Is she going to see the visions on this whole blowing up the nuclear power plant? Is there more to that? And are they going to try to stop it because maybe the old mayor felt she had to do this?
Yeah.
But really, it's not the right thing. I don't know. And that's what I was wondering too. If that's part of what's going to lead in. If that's going to be for the entire season, or that's going to be wrapped up fairly quickly.
Here's what I think, because we revealed last time that that the Pale Wars got started when the Votan ships got destroyed for some reason that we don't know. I think that there's some evidence as to who did that hidden in Old St. Louis. And it's the reason why it folded over.
Yes, it folded over. Yeah, with the terraform.
Whatever technology that is. We have run out of time.
We have.
Scott
Good
Moore.
episode.
Scott Moore, tell everyone out there where they can find you.
You can find me on the old Twitter at sman80. That's SMAN80, and also do the Celebrity Apprentice here on Sunday nights.
All right.
On the good old AfterBuzz.
And you can find me at Matt Lieberman, MattLieberman on Twitter. I am also on the Doctor Who show and the Mad Men show here on AfterBuzz, and I just got the game Defiance. So if you guys out there play Defiance and you want to play with me, I'm really terrible. I only just
so if you want to feel good about yourself,
if you want to feel really good about yourself, or help me, my character name is The Liebs. TheLiebs, and I'm going to tweet out sometimes that I'm going to be playing this week.
In Pacific Daylight Time.
Yes, and let me know what you guys think of the game. I really want to know your thoughts.
Check it out, too.
All right, thanks, guys.
From Bing.com, executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.